shot him and
Hey,
then drove
man. Hey,
off.
Michael.
Hey, hey,
How are you?
good.
Good,
You're,
good.
you're supposed to say three, two, one.
I did. I said 3-2. I left out the one, and I guess you didn't hear any of it. So you were telling me about a U-Haul truck being chased through Nashville or something like that. And
Yeah, yesterday apparently a U-Haul truck was speeding all around East Nashville, and I'm part of a Facebook group in which people just love talking about every little thing. So
yeah,
that was the topic of discussion
that was
yesterday was
that was the thing.
yeah.
That's
Anyway,
that's funny. Hey, how
Kickstart.
are you? Yeah, yeah. You're at home. I'm in the office. Mark Bowers, good day to you, man. It's good to see you. Hey, man. So how's home life? I know you're getting a new internet today, so that's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, even as your connection is kind of a little jittery right now.
Is it really?
Yeah, I am. I just this quarantine has proven just too much for my current internet. So I'm here at home waiting for the cable company to show up and give me my brand new internet. But other than that, life's good. I have coffee. You know.
Yeah. Nice, man. Sorry, I'm getting a phone call. And you know how Apple does this thing where, if somebody calls your phone, they don't only call your phone, they call your computer, they call your, if you have an iPad, a watch, they call your next door neighbor. I don't know. They call everyone. So, anyway, man, Michael, I'm so excited about today's guest.
Oh, really?
I'm so excited about today's guest. So check this out. Um, this is our last devotional. Um, Tomorrow we got a flashback Friday with Dan, and he's the one that wrote that book.
Suffer
Suffer
well.
Well. Yeah, Dan Harrod. Man, I get distracted with all these notifications going everywhere. But Dan Harrod. So we're gonna have him tomorrow. Flashback Friday. That's gonna be fun. But today's guest is like the most special one that I think we've ever had on this podcast. You don't
No.
agree with me? I think he is. I think you're about to see. You're about to find out,
All right.
Michael, because today's guest is Michael Neff, and and I'm gonna click over to his Devo right now. He looks a lot like you. Hang on.
Yes.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this Kickstart. Really glad that you all are tuning in. Today I would like to talk about Speckfinding. And what does that mean? Well, let me read this passage from Matthew chapter 7, and then we'll jump into it. So, Matthew chapter 7, we're right in the middle of the Sermon on the Mount. Jesus is teaching a large crowd of people, and he's going through kind of like these main things that he that are kind of the bulk of his message. And so in chapter 7 he says this. He says, "Do not judge, or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured to you. Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye? How can you say to your brother, 'Let me take the speck out of your eye,' when all the time there is a plank in your own eye? You hypocrite! First take the plank out of your own eye, and then you will see clearly to remove the speck from your brother's eye." So he's talking about judging others, and he uses this kind of description of that you would have, that someone might have see a speck in someone else's eye, and trying to remove that when all the time they've got a plank. Now, obviously, he's not talking actually about a speck of sawdust and a plank, but really talking about the fact that we're really quick to look at others' faults when we ourselves have plenty going on that we can deal with. And in the past month or so, as we've been dealing with coronavirus and all the new rules and regulations and things that come with that, I've been very aware at how quick I am to find specks in other people's eyes, and have been completely neglecting the plank in my own eye, and that is whether someone is not wearing a mask at a store, or their choices in this time are not lining up with my own. I'm very quick to judge what others are doing during this time, and not really take a look at how my actions look to others, or how my actions might not be even in line with what I'm judging others with. And I think that's so, it's such an easy thing that we can do during this time. And really, just in general, we have social media right at our fingertips all day, every day, where people are posting about, what they think politically, or what, their opinions on things. And so really we have just this never-ending feed of the ability to judge others on what they're posting on social media. And yet so often, even just that act of looking at other people and judging them by what they're posting can show a fault in ourselves, that we would even jump to that we would use that as a way to kind of distract from our own issues. So, during this time, I'm trying to do a couple things. So these are my tips to be less of a speck finder, and as I am calling it, more of a plank maintenance or a plank remover. And that is, before I let my thoughts drift to judgment on others, I always try to take a step back and assume I am wrong, or at least assume that whatever that person is going through, whatever they're posting, just kind of taking a more humble approach to whatever I'm viewing and whatever I'm judging. So assume that maybe not that I'm wrong, but assume that there is another side to whatever it is. So that's number one. Assume there's another side to every story. Number two is to actually just to disengage. So when I find myself tempted to start passing judgment or thinking highly of myself versus someone else, maybe I just put down social media. When I'm reading that comment from someone who's ranting and raving, and I start to think about, what do I think about that, and I can really even start to feel like my energy levels rise when I'm able to recognize that. I've been trying to then just turn it off, to walk away, so that I don't get caught up, in the comment section. Everybody knows about the comment section. You read the post, but then you stay for all the comments below where people are just firing back and forth. So my suggestion is to walk away and not get caught up in the comment section. And then number three, and this should be standard operating procedure for all of us, but pray that God would reveal those things that are in your blind spot. So, as Jesus is talking about this plank in your own eye, it's he's really talking about that blind spot, that thing that we aren't able to see in ourselves. So God, would you show me that thing that I can't see, that is in my blind spot, that I can't see in myself? Would you show that to me, and would you help me to work through that before I start picking apart other people's faults? So I encourage you today, be less of a speck finder, be more of a plank remover. Don't engage with the negative comments. Don't let yourself engage in those things. Pray that God would show you your own blind spots, and I hope that helps. I hope that really encourages you today. I know it's challenging work, but it's what a great time to be doing it. So thanks everybody, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.
Michael, what did you think about that very special speaker, man?
Yeah, the funny thing is, like, I didn't realize it was like we were going to end on me, like end on a
yeah, it wasn't planned. Yeah,
end on a low note, but
yeah, a high note. That's a very high note, man. I loved it. I was telling you while that was going on, I was telling you kind of one of my favorite parts about that Devo was when you say, "Look, Stephanie says so good, Michael." She's actually in the office today. He says thanks. Yeah.
Thank you. She's watching. She can see me say thanks.
Yeah. So anyway, that's true. I guess you could just say thanks. Anyway, yeah, my favorite part was like when you start talking about you feel the energies rise and then you choose to disengage and you're like, okay, I don't want to take part in this, in the comments section and all this stuff. So I just love that, Michael. I love that, and I love that about you. You said something to me that could start a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, because I was talking with my girlfriend, and she was kind of laughing about like the concept of like disengaging and that's not to say like we don't like that we disengage from the world, right? That's not what I'm suggesting, is that we would just completely tune the world out.
Right.
But and she said, the Enneagram is very much part of our current language and culture, and so I test as a 9, and so when she heard the part of my Devo where I say, just disconnect. She said, that's a real 9 thing to say.
Yeah, because you're talking about conflict, right? So you're disengaging from that conflict, and that is a very 9 thing to say, but it's also a very healthy thing to do.
For those who may not know what the Enneagram is, there's all these numbers, and each one kind of says something about your personality type, and a 9, which is what I apparently am, very much avoids conflict by just kind of withdrawing. But I still like, even
that
with
may be
that
the best
said,
part about a 9, man. It's like you know when to disengage. I love it. So
yeah. Well, and I mean, again, I'm not saying like we should tune the world out,
right.
But so often I've just noticed, in these times, there are appropriate times to just step away from the comment section. And
as we're talking about stepping away from the comment section, Sarah Bird is engaging with the comment section right now. Your girlfriend.
Hashtag peacemaker.
Hashtag peacemaker. That's you, Michael. And she's that's a good quality to have. Actually, Jesus says things about making peace. Blessed are the peacemakers, right? So is Nathan a 9 too? Nathan's not a 9. Sarah, you can guess around if you'd like to about what I might be, but So I'm kind of next to you, Sarah. That I'm told you're. Am I allowed to say what she is? I don't. That's probably
sure.
not.
Yeah.
I'm told you're a 2. I'm right next to you, Sarah. Right next to you. So anyway. We're on to a roll here. I told you it would open up a whole nother conversation. So let me look here. This is the image of the day. This is Michael Kneff and it says Madison, Tennessee, because that's where you are now, Michael. I don't know exactly where you're from, but Stephanie says podcast episode on the Enneagram. There are complete podcasts on the Enneagram. that will blow your mind. They're so good. So here's today's image. You can take this to your kitchen table. You can take it to your small group. You can take it to your Zoom meetings. This is going to be on our Instagram story in just a second. This is a great message, a great reminder for us, Michael, today to keep the peace. As Jesus says, blessed are the peacemakers.
Yeah, Jimmy just posted below, which is funny because in the talk I talk about like mask etiquette and
mask etiquette. Yeah.
Jimmy Rivera and I ran into each other in the supermarket, and one of us was wearing a mask and one of us wasn't. So.
Dun, dun, dun. Hashtag conflict. Disengage, Michael. Disengage.
Yeah,
don't
we're
respond.
Still cool, Jimmy. We're definitely still cool.
Don't engage. Yeah. So, yeah, man. Well, hey, this was a great episode. Tomorrow is Dan Harrod. He just emailed me. I think he knows that he's going to be on tomorrow. So, this has been really fun. For those of you who are just joining us and things for the first time, maybe, or maybe you've joined us and you're wondering what is going on. Well, as COVID is kind of calming down, or as people are re-engaging with their life and their new normal, we've had to ask what is our new normal, because we understand that the kickstarts, they just take too much energy, and a lot of people aren't able to get us material, and so we are moving toward a podcast. And so Michael and I are interviewing people right now. That podcast will be available sometime. We're going to say that tomorrow. I think we still haven't set a date, but it's not going to be far in the future. And we're going to try to upload for that first week. We're going to try to upload a few of them so that you can kind of binge listen. If anybody is a podcast listener, the best part of listening to podcasts is it's kind of like the Netflix culture. It's just binge listening. So I like to listen to 5 in a row of the same podcast and then move on to another. So we're going to try to give you quite a few in the beginning just to front load it. So anyway, Michael, this has been awesome. Very good job today. This is one of my favorite messages out of all of our Kickstarts. I told you it was a special guest, and you are the specialist. So I just love it. Anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. Talk to you later, Michael.
All right. Bye.